Hello, everyone. This is Caroline, and today is another Omnium Radio webcast. Today is June 19th, 2011, and we will continue talking about the same topics, just keep moving forward. Those who are just joining for the first time, I recommend that you go back and listen to the previous webcast because we have been talking about the ascension process for the planet, for humanity, for the individual, sharing a lot of tools, a lot of information on how to best cope and continue creating on a very high level, which could be quite challenging. So I'm going to continue to talk about these topics a little bit, and then at the end, if you want to send in your questions for a few minutes, we'll do some of that. And then we will do a healing circle, another amazing way to come together and to pray, to raise the consciousness in a collective way for ourselves and for the planet. Okay, so moving right along. I'm going to continue to talk about what's happening in the world. How can you not see what's happening in the world? There's something very, very interesting going on. It's, basically the global political revolution. As you can see, it started at the end of last year. And now it is increasing. I had mentioned before that this will have a domino effect, and indeed it is spreading. And also the European countries, as I had mentioned before, are beginning to go through similar experiences. And I believe that this domino effect will continue. I feel that it could even also reach the USA, probably after the fall sometime. And what's happening is really very, very interesting. These are really extraordinary times. It seems like we are globally asking for a new form of government, a new form of expression, and so that is the way we are. It seems that globally we are demanding for these changes by force, basically, and so it is working. It is happening, as you know, in many countries so far, and this will continue to occur, but not exactly in the same way. Every country has a different dynamic, different challenges, although there is certainly a common denominator, which is the economy, the way the political system is set up in the first place. Democracy or no democracy or dictatorship, honestly, all of the human or earth governments that exist on the earth are manipulative, are based on the wrong information. And even democracy, or what we feel more democratic countries, are of course much more aligned with freedom, but there are still so many misaligned information, misaligned energy in this whole governmental structure, which is tightly connected to the financial structure. And the financial structure is based on debt and on fiat money, which is all kind of an illusion, really. So it's pretty amazing that these governments have lasted for so long. And so what's happening is that, okay, this is the time we've been talking about the new Earth grid coming into place and allowing the new energy to exist. This new energy, this new consciousness is the new consciousness that supports a new form of government. So we talked about that in the last program, but I want to tell you something also, because different people have different views, and my purpose here is to bring as much clarity as I can. For those who are studying with me know how the most important thing for me is clarity. And so, what's happening, you can observe what is occurring right now. All of these political upheavals going on in the Mideast and everywhere, also, not just in the Mideast. And you could say, of course, we are asking for freedom. We are freeing ourselves from these oppressive regimes or what have you, and but what is it really? What is really happening? There's still some sort of chaos going on. The next regime or the next form of government hasn't been created yet. So we are observing these changes, and at the same time, we can see that there is still a crisis going on. It's still very much chaotic. So if you look at it from this perspective, you can see that, or you can say that, okay, this is the new paradigm. The new paradigm is starting to appear on the earth because we are asking for truth, we're demanding for freedom, and we're getting it. So there's that. But then there is another aspect of what is happening, and I feel that there is also another kind of energy that is the energy that has been manipulating the whole planet, and the energy that has been in control or in charge or what have you, that is also part of this movement. And what's happening is that because the old system kind of seemed to stop working for a while, so now there is a lot of manipulation still happening. They're saying, okay, well, if people want freedom, let's help them get the freedom. But we know very well that they will not really get the freedom right away. And so we're going to help them or pretend that they are getting freedom. And then there's going to be so much chaos that then we can instill a new form of government or dictatorship or what have you to bring the peace on the planet. Do you see what's going on here? So even though on the one hand it appears that there is freedom happening, there is also another trend of energy that is also manipulating and hoping, or trying anyway, trying for this chaos that is erupting from these movements of freedom to persist, so that they can have an excuse, a reason to bring on yet another form of government. And so having said that, the reason why I'm bringing this up is for you to not be confused, to bring clarity, because some people will say, what are you talking about, new paradigm? This is all orchestrated. This is all manipulated. This is all, and it's true. On some level it is. But the idea is, the fact that this manipulation is still happening, it doesn't mean it is succeeding. It is just that it is the next step, or the next kind of way for the controlling energies to continue to kind of stick around. But guess what? It may not be happening according to plan, because it really is kind of the last attempt, so to speak, and the way they're expecting the people to continue behaving, meaning feeling, remaining in the chaos, needing a government to be in control and to help them be at peace or what have you, may not be what turns out to be. So I think the result of all of this is going to be quite interesting. So what I'm trying to say here is that, you know, even though these two trends are happening, it's very important that you are aware of what's happening. You can see both angles and both sides, so to speak. And this should allow you to then understand the dynamics of what's happening and have more clarity on what you are here to do, what you are here to create, and how you can continue to create with all of this while all of this is going on. So Of course, somebody just asked me earlier about the geophysical events. So the geophysical events are not man-made, although some could be, but in general, they are not man-made. And so this is where this is another element that will also change the picture for the beings who think are manipulating this way or that way. So the geophysical events continue to happen. They are not specifically, somebody's asking me the relationship with a planet X or what have you. It's not connected to one thing. It doesn't really work this way. It's much, much bigger. It's much more elaborate in terms of geophysical changes. It's not linear. It's not because of just the galactic alignment, because of the planet X or what have you. It's because of many things. And don't forget, the geophysical events are part of the Earth, I just said, not orchestrated by humans. So it's part of the bigger picture, the divine plan, a creator plan, you see. It's much, much bigger than from this perspective. And what's happening is that we are so used to the linear explanation, the linear way. We're not used to thinking and understanding reality multidimensionally. And this is very important. So you think, or most people think, that something will happen on Monday, therefore on Tuesday, all of this is going to be resolved. So the planet X is going to do this, then everything, all aspects of reality on Tuesday are going to change. The galactic alignment is going to happen on December 21st, whatever, 2012. Therefore, everything on December 22nd, 2012 is going to change. It doesn't really work this way. Let me give you another example, more kind of tangible. Or something that just actually happened. Let's look at, for example, the Egyptian revolution or what have you. So there was such strong demand on Monday, for example, for the government, for the president of Egypt to step down. So going back and forth, eventually on Tuesday he steps down, right? So there's only one thing that changed on Wednesday, and it is that the president's office is now vacant and available. But everything else that's around it, that's attached to it, has still not been resolved. The social aspects of Egypt, the country, have not been resolved, have not changed. The economic status has not changed on Wednesday. The spiritual, the consciousness evolution of the people, the spirituality of the people did not change on Wednesday. Do you understand? So even though one thing happens on one day, does not mean that every aspect of reality is going to happen on the next day. So that's the problem. We are so used to doing the cause and effect thing and thinking so linearly that we forget that there are so many other aspects of reality that are still being created. So I feel that if you have to let go of the idea that one planet or one comet or one thing is going to happen on one day, and the next day all aspects of reality, I'm not saying it's not going to be changed the world in a very particular way. I'm saying not all aspect of reality on the earth is going to change the next day. And so for this reason, it's very, very confusing, because we are so used to this linear way of thinking that we don't even know how to create. We start to say, okay, well, if this planet is coming, or this comet is coming, or on December 21st, this is happening, therefore I should create this, this, and that. And what I'm saying is, it doesn't work this way. Your consciousness is multidimensional. You may be affected by this one event only in one way. So the guy that was on the front line in Egypt and that was yelling and screaming and demanding for his president to step down, he's doing that because he doesn't have any more money to feed his family, right? His economic situation, his social standing, he got fired or what have you. That is his situation. So finally his president did step down, but on Wednesday or on Thursday, nothing in his life changed except that now he gets to vote for a new president. Do you see what I'm saying? So what about all of the other aspects of his life? So that's the reason why you cannot wait for one piece of information to change the entire reality on the earth. And so I talk about this, of course, in the book, The Divine Plan, Beyond 2012. For those who are still new, for those who have not read it, please read it. Please, for those who have read it, read it again. And for those who have been reading it over and over, know very well that it's multidimensional information. Therefore, it keeps going deeper and deeper on so many levels. And it opens your consciousness, which is multidimensional, in this way, multidimensionally. So this is very important. I'm talking about multidimensionality. Of course, there is the mathematical aspect of dimensionality. There's the physics aspects of dimensionality. There is a scientific, not current science, but scientific aspect to dimensionality. I cover some of the technical aspect of dimensionality in the book, but I'm talking today only about the aspect that concerns your day-to-day creation, your 3D experience, what to do next. If you don't understand that reality on the earth is multidimensional, if you don't understand that your brain is multidimensional and is supposed to create multidimensionally, you're going to be very frustrated. You're going to be very confused. You're going to be waiting for results. You're going to be waiting for the Wednesday that everything on the earth, everything about your life is going to change. You see? And so, even though these events do affect life on earth drastically, it does not mean that all of the aspects of reality happen at once. So having said that, the reason why I'm bringing this up is again to bring it back to you. What are you doing now? How are you dealing? How are you coping with what is happening around the world? What are you supposed to do? So first of all, to begin to address this question of dimensionality, you can begin to consciously ask to begin to feel, to experience what it's like. What is it like to begin to create multidimensionally? What does it feel like to feel reality on the earth as a multidimensional, not three-dimensional, multidimensional?